Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Dota Pit Season 3 playoffs. We are here in the Losers Bracket Finals. Winner of this series will move on and play Evil Geniuses in the Grand Finals. Losers, they are done, and they will leave the
10
tournament with
seconds
third
remaining.
place. Our last three teams now getting underway. Cloud9
5
and VirtusPro, and of course
remaining.
the winner of this series moving on to face against EG. Very excited to be
Reserve
joining you
time.
guys today. Of course, hopefully everyone had a great July 4th weekend. Hopefully all you Americans celebrated in spirit. Hopefully you guys watched some great CSGO as well as, maybe some women's soccer as well. But we are here now. We're ready to go. We're ready to get underway with this tournament and finish off a long season that started in January. It has been a long time coming, but we are finally two best of fives, potentially three. I don't know how it works. Two best of fives, and then we are done with the entire thing. So with that being said, Cloud9 versus VirtusPro getting underway. As always, brought to you by High Ground TV. Today we've got me, myself,
10
Mott
seconds
casting. We've got
remaining.
Pit Muckle doing the observing as well as production. Mott packs on stats. And
5
Trout.
seconds remaining.
Oh, he's over in Vancouver. It's a bit hot over there. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I got my coffee, so I'm feeling
Cloud9's
feeling
turn
okay.
to pick.
Feeling manageable, but this should be a good matchup, I think. Cloud9 versus VirtusPro. Cloud9's been really fun to watch as of late. If you didn't get a chance to watch our most recent cast, Cloud9 versus NIP, they were some of the most ridiculous games. Cloud9 had, I think, a 30,000 gold lead at like 29 minutes, something like that, keeping up with a 1K per minute all the way through the game, pretty much.
10 seconds remaining.
It was a really fun series to watch. It only went to 2 games, but it was still worth it. Worth
5
a watch if you
seconds
haven't. But,
remaining.
so I'm really interested to see what Cloud9 does. Speaking of the draft early
Reserve
on here,
time.
I am a little bit intrigued that they've given up both Leshrac and
Radiant
Shadow
team
Fiend. Not
pick.
to mention both Leshrac and Shadow Fiend on Radiant.
Cloud9's
Shadow Fiend on
turn
Radiant is
to
pretty
pick.
scary. Not to mention Leshrac seems like he's banned every single game.
Yeah.
And VirtusPro managed to get both of them.
The thing that's interesting to me is we usually see both of these heroes function in the mid lane. I haven't seen Leshrac safe lane too often, but it sounds like something that definitely could work. Do you imagine the VirtusPro will send Leshrac safe lane trial?
They could. It could also just be a support. Like, it actually pairs nicely with Rubik if they want to. The thing is, usually when you pick up
10
Leshrac, it's like
seconds remaining.
you don't want to waste such a good pick on necessarily
5 seconds
a
remaining.
support position. I mean, it's fine, but most teams know what the hero can do if he
Reserve
gets
time.
a little bit of priority and gets a decent amount of farm early on. So, and he's just such a strong mid laner that usually he does go mid. Now, they have Shadow Fiend, and I think Shadow Fiend is much better in mid than the safe lane when you compare that to Leshrac. Shadow Fiend in the safe lane is kind of meh. He's such a good mid hero that it's kind of a weird... It's kind of a waste to not put him there, in my opinion, especially on Radiant. He's just amazing on Radiant. So I suspect we'll see Shadow Fiend mid and then Leshrac as a
Radiant
support or
team
safe lane.
pick.
But yeah, we'll see. The fact that Pug is picked up right now actually maybe VirtusPro, if they haven't already, or maybe deciding if they want to put Leshrac into that 4 position. Because 1 position Leshrac against a Pugna, it can be a little bit troublesome in the mid to late game, just because you're going to be... I mean, all of your magic, or all of your damage is magical, and you're spending lots and lots of mana on that, so that Nether Ward's going
10
to beat you up.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Nether Ward is absolutely frustrating to deal with.
5 seconds
I want to ask
remaining.
you, do you know who Loomdun is from NA Dota? I'm assuming you do.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
Reserve
playing
time.
in the BTS Americas tournament last night that I was casting with Dakota, and they picked up Pugna, like Winter Wyvern, Abaddon. They had like all of these defensive heroes, and they had a Pugna as well, and they had a DK, and all they really did was push early on. And Cloud9 have a Wind Ranger, they have an Undying, and they have a Naga who's pretty good with pushing early on as well. So I feel like that they could get Focus Fire going, they could get Pugna's Nether Blast going, and Cloud9 maybe want to fight really early on here. They could like theoretically farm up this Wind Ranger and get some decent items for her, but Cloud9 seem to have a let's go early, let's go often type of mentality here. And for VirtusPro, how are you going to deal with that? Like you mentioned, there's a lot of damage to be dealt through Nether Ward, especially to that Leshrac. It's going to be very, very scary, I think, for VirtusPro, honestly, unless they can get some really good... I don't know what they can grab, actually, to be honest with you.
They need to either... well, they have in their mind right now, they probably know what Cloud9's going to do. So they have the Shadow Fiend, they have the Leshrac, so they should be thinking, our late game is pretty much going to be fine. I don't think the Naga Siren is going to be a 1 position with the Pugna and the Undying. That seems a little strange. So they just need to make sure that they draft 2 more heroes that can like defend pushes okay, or
Shadow Shaman.
no, Shadow Shaman, or they can
Cloud9's turn
just dodge
to
it
ban.
completely and go for the split push route, which is a little bit more scary. Because it's hard to split push against a Pugna. That hero just pushes way too fast. So yeah, they go with the Shadow Shaman, which is interesting
Radiant
against Pugna too.
team
I can't tell you
ban.
how many times I've seen in pubs where Shadow Shaman will kill himself with his wards
Cloud9's turn to pick.
before he actually casts them, because it does the damage before you cast a spell. It's really funny to watch.
It's like the CM who like uses like the first like half second of a freezing field and it just freaking dies because of
Yeah.
it. 400 mana and you're dead. That's it. It's a fun time, honestly. It really is. So we'll see how things turn out. The Cloud9 have the Pugna. The last pick is coming up.
10 seconds remaining.
See what they go for here. They have, let's see, Naga Siren support more than likely.
5
Could be Undying
seconds
off lane.
remaining.
Could be a Pugna support, Wind Ranger mid, safe lane pickup for Envy. We really don't know
Reserve
what roles a
time.
lot of these heroes are being played in. I'm assuming that this Naga is going to be support, but that is still an assumption. We don't know if that's actually what's going to be happening yet. So they have 1 minute left in reserve time. We'll see how they decide to line this up, Ralph.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's going to be hard until we see that 5th hero, but I presume it's going to be like Undying Naga offlane, Wind Ranger mid, Pugna plus this one top. That's just my guess. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah. 30 seconds on reserve time. Let's see. There's heroes that I want to... So Tusk's banned, which is really interesting, because that's a hero that I see picked up all the time, and I'm glad it's banned out. According to mod packs, Envy has been spamming Windrunner, so that's just something to keep in mind.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's actually going to be coming into factor here, but we'll see.
Well, that
and-
would make a little bit more sense, because I think Pugna mid would be a little bit better.
10 seconds remaining.
Pugna as a laner is kind of like meh in the safe
5
lane. It's
seconds
easy to
remaining.
abuse him. He doesn't really pressure that well. So with that being said, I mean, they can go
Radiant
for him in
team
the safe lane.
pick.
Just, oh god, they
They're
have so
pushing.
much push now.
They are pushing hardcore, Ralph. They want those towers, and they want them now.
It reminds me of that one commercial. Remember, it was like, it's my money and I want it now.
Yes.
Do you remember?
KG Wentworth, dude.
Yeah,
course.
that's what it is. He had
I
the
got
song J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now.
Yeah.
Yep.
People who aren't from America
10
have
seconds
absolutely no
remaining.
idea what we're talking about, but that's okay.
5
Listen,
seconds
just search
remaining.
JG Wentworth commercial on YouTube, and hopefully it's there. Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Reserve
All right,
time.
Yakiro, last pickup, VirtusPro. How are you gonna split push this? A hero that could use Necrobook would be fantastic. Is that going to be the case? Probably not. You need something like maybe a Quap or something. They have a Centaur. That's they want more team fight apparently. They want the Stampede. They want to be able to initiate on Cloud9. They want to jump in. He doesn't really cost that much mana to use all of his abilities. In fact, his double edge doesn't require any at all. I think it's an okay choice. He's going to be the off lane. It feels like VirtusPro are forced into this decision where like they have to go for a traditional lineup, but it's going to be really difficult for them to deal with what Cloud9 are bringing, which is we're going to 5-man down your towers. We're going to take Roche, and then we're going to win the game with like a 10k gold advantage if we can get to that point. However, with the Leshrac in the safe lane for Illidan, with Shadow Fiend in the mid lane for G, this still will be a difficult task for Cloud9 because they are two of the best heroes in the game currently right now.
The thing I like about C9's lineup
10
is like
seconds remaining.
they don't have any humongous cooldowns that they have to really rely on. Like you
5
could argue the
seconds
Naga
remaining.
Siren sleep is there, but that's not really a sleep that's going to set up for a ton of stuff. It's going to set up for maybe Ice Path and a Macropyre, but it's not like your Wombo combo that you need to use to end and win the game. They have plenty of other abilities that
Prepare
have low
for
cooldowns
battle.
that they're going to be relying on, not the big like black hole and what have you. The innate problem I see with VP's lineup is they don't have like a dedicated Nether Ward killer. I don't see anyone that's like particularly good at walking up, safely killing the ward and backing out. It sounds crazy, but I thought maybe even PL would have been good because his illusions actually do like full damage to the Nether Ward. It's something I just learned a couple days ago that I didn't know. It's really good against that Nether Ward. So they don't. That's one thing I'm worried about. I love the Centaur actually. It's one of my favorite offlane heroes that doesn't get enough love right now.
Yeah.
I think the Ags upgrade is so freaking broken, and I don't think we see it enough.
It's just, I think the problem with the Centaur and getting Ags is that it takes so long to, and there's so many other heroes that are almost better in the situation that require a little farm, which is like Tusk.
30
It's pretty much
seconds
just
to
Tusk and
battle.
Clockwork. Like those two heroes in general, I think. Like that's why they overshadow heroes like Centaur Warrunner, among other things. So I definitely
Sure.
agree with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tusk is just a beast, and I would definitely take up Tusk over Centaur, but since Tusk is getting a lot more love and a lot more hate as far in terms of bans now, I am happy to see Centaur. But again, touching that point, well, I thought we're going to see an engagement up here in the top right.
This is most certainly engagement. That was a triple decay. They get the raise off, no tail in trouble. Telekinesis, the lockdown is real. Great shackle shot, but the stun doesn't last that long. They are going in. Good nether blast. And Misery gets another double decay. F&G is sitting at 43 out of 397 health. He actually survives. Misery is a tank. He's up to 1,000 HP, but somehow they lose the engagement. Who got the bounty rune? Cloud9 got both of them. All right, so they lose first blood, but they do get both bounty runes. What a clash.
What a clash indeed. And yeah, it's going to be Pugna mid for Fata, which I imagine when Shadow Fiend gets levels should actually be more than fine in this lane. Unless Fata outplays him, but I think Shadow Fiend just straight up wins this matchup. Pretty easy for him. Nice raises by G. What are you seeing?
Like, honestly, how often have we said Shadow Fiend should win this matchup and then he wins the matchup? Like, it has been very standard to see a Shadow Fiend absolutely decimate a lane. Or even just get off to like a slow start because maybe someone's harassing them and then they just go to the jungle. Shadow Fiend wins like every matchup. It's so stupid.
Well, I would say there's certainly some matchups that are kind of a nightmare for Shadow Fiend, like Quap with Drow, for instance, or even Quap in general. Shadow Fiend.
Dead
But-
again. They have telekinesis. He is most certainly dead.
Oh boy.
They're gonna bring it back. He'll ripside. He'll try to bring down FNG. And they get the counter ward.
And over the top engagement, he took so much damage, and I think Envy was like, kind of, maybe panicked and went for the Shackle Shot, because Shackle Shot level 1 is not very impressive, but tried to do whatever he could to save No Tail, and No Tail actually TP's top now. He was like, screw it, bottom, I'm not going to get anything, I need to maybe get some pulls. This is his first pro game on Wind Ranger, despite that he has been spamming it, I suppose, in pubs or whatever.
He's got that anime hairstyle, though. Look at that. The Flower Song Beauty. That, yeah, I'm not a big fan
Radiant's
of that hairstyle.
bottom tower is
Bottom
under
lane,
attack.
Bone 7. The offlane Shakira will go down. TP comes out for Misery. They're just going to rotate everything up. They're going to give Misery the offlane, and they're going to have Bone 7, I guess, rotate. Either he probably goes back bottom, and they go for an aggressive dual lane again. But Misery still is going to be playing as a support, but he'll be able to get some sort of farm here on this Undying. I like the Undying with the Jakiro a lot more than I like the Naga with the Jakiro, so.
Well, it looks like maybe VP's approach to this is just, we're going to win the lanes really hard, and then make it so that we get way more out of the laning stage, and then when you go for your Death Ball push, that we're going to have core items on our heroes faster than we need them to, or faster than you have them.
Yep.
So that we can split push a little bit better, because right now bottom lane seems like it's kind of somewhat of a disaster. I mean, they're just kind of doing musical lanes at this point. Bone 7's now down here with an Orb of Venom on the Jakiro.
Oh, classic. The classic Orb of Venom Jakiro. This has been a while since we've seen this offlane Jakiro, which I think it wasn't invented by Universe, but Universe played a lot of it a couple of months ago. Summit 2, I want to say, I believe, is when it was most popular, but that time is long gone. Jakiro has been nerfed. Yeah, he got hit with a baseball bat by Ice Frog, as most heroes commonly do when they're good. So we'll see how Bone 7 does, I guess. We'll see how he does down here in this bottom lane and later on down the road as well. Going back to mid, I think G is going to be going for this mech more than likely on the Shadow Fiend. It just seems too good to pass up this game for what they're dealing with in terms of maybe fighting, in terms of maybe swift pushing. I'd be very surprised to see him go for anything other than an early mech here on the Shadow Fiend, so we'll see.
Pugna's actually doing pretty well in mid. I thought, as you get your levels, just bottom lane, Misery takes some damage, can't get the tomb down, finally puts the tomb down, he actually gets a little bit of life by using the decay.
They should get FNG here?
Yeah, FNG is dead. Illidan might be dead too. Bone 7, he dodges the stun!
Ice Path misses, he's got Liquid Fire in one, he'll dual breath, he will get this kill with a dot, maybe? Maybe? No, he's regenerating up with a Tango, he'll stay
Dire's
alive.
middle tower is
Oh
under
my
attack.
god, Illidan should have been dead there. The Ice Path dodge coming out, very close. It is a 2-for-1 trade. This offlane still disastrous. Illidan getting a lot of this farm. He will have to back up. Lil does get hit up with the Undying's hey there, and top lane, DK4 was trying to be aggressive against Tail, but nothing happening there. So Yeah, this bottom lane is really being a problem, and G still is up ahead in the mid lane right now in terms of CS. He is going to TP in from FNG, who will probably go for a shackle gank here onto Fata. It's a very squishy hero, so if you can rotate in and get this kill, it's going to be perfect. And G's going to set up for that by blocking the creep wave, getting it back on his hill, and going from there, hopefully. We'll see if they can go onto Fata. This is an illusion. Hopefully FNG doesn't go nuts for this, and it looks like he won't. They're going to walk right in. There is the Nether Ward on the ground. They're going to go for it. Good decrep. Stories will come first. The Shackle's going to go through. Last right click comes out, and that's going to be G getting the kill. And the Nether Ward kill as well, so some extra gold on top of it.
Yeah, you pointed out really well that the stats are not there for Pugna. Like, your strength gain is one of the lowest in the game, I think.
Yep.
I think let me check it real fast. It is 1.2. It's really, really bad. So
It's not great.
yeah, and it actually doesn't even have very much armor. I think about it too. I didn't know that part.
Yep.
Very nice gank. He smoked for it. I thought he was going to get revealed, but because he smoked before he TP'd, even though they had that ward at their top in the top river, they didn't see him. So nice gank there from FNG.
Yeah, really solid stuff, and really good block coming out from G as well, just to make sure the positioning was a bit better in their favor. So
it's also important that when you go for those ganks, especially coming from the safe lane, that the second you TP in, like, you don't hesitate and like, oh, we have to wait until he gets in the right spot. We have to wait, because the longer you wait, the more obvious it becomes that you're gone. So it's very good that, like, as soon as he TP's there, he wraps around and just goes as fast as he can.
Dire's middle tower
if you
is
were
under
sitting
attack.
bottom, you might think that he was still walking back to lane. Maybe he didn't have a TP scroll. That's just really good
Exactly.
timing coming up from VirtusPro. It's really tough to hit those timings. Because pro players are going to be on top of their game in the entire game. They're going to say, okay, this guy's missing, this guy's off the map for this amount of time. And that just didn't, that call either wasn't made or it wasn't made fast enough. So VirtusPro will get the kill with FNG there. Top lane has been really good for Envy. This lane has been the lane that has been going dominantly for C9, and that's good. They will go for Treads with the Wind Ranger, which is interesting. He has the Basilius. Meanwhile, FNG runs into No Tail. A little bit of harass here. Riptide's going to go. No Tail will do some extra damage, 51 base damage plus the armor reduction. It's nice to have. DK Phobo sitting at Tranquils now. Nothing else besides that. He has how much CS? 8. He's getting level 4. I think Bone 7 actually is doing better in levels. He is. This bottom lane is doing a lot better in terms of experience. Sure, they might have died, but DK Phobos is not getting much out of this top lane.
The real question is, are they shutting down the safe laners as well as they need to? I would say it's okay. Like, 33 CS, it's not like he's not free farming. He definitely has okay CS, but look at Envy. He has been hitting, he's got like almost every single CS. He's been doing really, really well for himself. Now getting a little bit more extra as he dips into the jungle, gets a little couple creeps there. So he's up to 55, just about 7 minutes, which is very, very good for himself.
How often do we see Treads on this hero is the real question. It's usually phase boots, is it not?
It is usually phase boots. I don't see a problem at all with Treads. I think it makes your DPS go up a lot when you're not ulting. And it gives, especially if you do go for the bottle, it just makes the bottle so much more useful. I actually like Treads a little bit more personally.
I'm interested. You mentioned focus fire.
Radiant's
That's
bottom
the biggest
tower
thing,
is under
and especially if you go
attack.
Aghanim Scepter, it's not going to matter if you have Treads usually. But
True. Yeah, but I think the main thing is, like, it gives you more DPS when you're not using your focus fire, so that you have ability to. It also just feels better with your bottle. Like, you can get so much more out of your bottle. That's the thing.
07 and got
Radiant's
brought
middle
to the
tower is under
cliff,
attack.
and he is stuck. Ice Pack will go. He can walk out, and actually, they're in trouble. Bots will rotate. Splitters will miss. Look at that Nether Blast decrep damage. Lil's going to get obliterated with the Liquid Fire. He's sticked up, but it's not going to matter. They're still chasing after Illidan. Pulsive was going to go. They got the huge decay up. And the Solar as well from Misery was used on himself, I believe, to survive. And bots are rotating with a haste room, gets 2 easy kills. And Illidan, who was doing okay in
Dire's
farm,
middle
goes
tower
down.
is
And
under
Fata now.
attack.
That's a big set of kills coming out for that mid lane. Pugna.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I don't know if you saw, but there was a hero sitting above here just forever. Like, just waiting forever for Envy to pop out. It's a very nice
Radiant
patience.
structures are
I
fortified.
can't remember. I can't remember if it was a
Radiant's
Centaur
bottom
or the
tower is
Shadow
under
Shaman, but
attack.
I think it was F and G. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Thank you, Pip. But just sat up there with a lot of patience. So FNG's just been all across the board, all across the map, been doing really well for themselves.
So they get the kills bottom on Illidan, but they trade top lane for Envy. So that's something that's interesting. Like you mentioned, FNG being very effective. Advice. Yet another smoke is going to go ahead and ward up as well when he gets back to base. So he is playing that hard 5 position. He's not really getting the farm to necessarily get that early blink dagger, but that's fine. Maybe sometime here in the near future if they can start pushing down towers. or start split pushing, they'll be in that situation. Lil does have Arcane, so at least he's got some farm. He's almost level 6 as well, so that spell steal is going to come in handy. And if he gets like Nether Blast as well, that's going to be a huge spell to steal. Not to mention Tombstone, Nether Ward, Song maybe, and that's probably all that I would classify as really good. Maybe Ensnare also.
Ice Path, man.
Yeah, that's true. Ice Path
That's like
is
the best one in the
animation.
game
Yeah,
outside
that's true.
Fisher.
I keep forgetting that. I just don't think
It's
that's a
because-
particularly good spell though.
Oh, it's way better on Rubik than it is on Jakiro. That's the main thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just you forget about it because we never see Jakiro anymore. So
Yeah, that's true.
no harm, no foul. But yeah, that's a good one. It probably won't be too
Double
effective
damage.
until Jakiro gets more levels, which he won't get for a while though. That's the only problem.
Exactly.
But yeah, Nether Ward would be fantastic to steal. Nether Blast, as you mentioned, it's like actually probably one of the best because you push so damn fast with it.
Gives you that extra nuke potential as a Rubik that you don't generally have, which is pretty nice. There is a ward right under the sentry that is about to be countered by No-Tail. He's going to walk right in, and we'll see you later, Mr. Landlord. They just put that down, and FG has to watch from afar, and he's like, God damn it. I just put that thing down, but they're going to try to jump in. Well, here's bottom. Good serve towards. They bring down this immediately. Bone 7 getting hit up as well. But here comes Spots, a life drain on FAG. They have the tombstone down. It was stolen by Lil. Perfectly done. Misery caught out. Look at Spots taking the chunk damage coming out. They hit the split earth as well. Misery in trouble. Last right click. The cable keep him alive. Illidan should back. He's kind of low. He does stick up. The Nether Ward's still there. They can't catch up to Fata. Does turn into a 2-for-1, and Lil already getting the spell steals. That tombstone steal is fantastic, and they come out ahead there in that engagement.
Yeah, this is a really good spell to steal too. I forgot about that. That was also, it didn't look as flashy as it could have. As the action on the Fata, I think he should be fine though. He's got a 12-stick charge. TP coming in aggressively from Misery, but I don't think they're going to catch anybody. But FNG, he went for just the straight up Mass Serpent Ward trap without using anything before it onto the Naga, and he actually hit it.
Yeah,
but then Naga used his images to get out of it, but he still died anyway. I thought it was a really nice kind of flashy play there from FNG.
What happened to the tombstone that Misery put down? Did it die to the Serpent Wards?
I think it did, yes.
That's crazy.
Could be wrong, but I think it did.
I only noticed the one tombstone at the end of that fight, and of course it
Yeah,
was,
me too.
It was the Rubik, so that was a very interesting play. But top lane, DK Phobos will get some more room to work with. He's not really scared of No-Tail. He's caught up nicely. He's getting very close to that Blink Dagger. He's done a great job. His CS is now 42. He was sitting only at 8 not too long ago, and this early Blink Dagger is huge, and they're even going to rotate up
gonna go for
FNG.
He has Stampede. They're going to go for him like right now, I think.
They're waiting. They're kind of baiting it up with DK Phobos. They could Stampede in immediately if they wanted to. They're so ready. He's going to use it in just a second. He doesn't even need to. He's just going to look for the casual stomp. Song's going to go. No-Tail is going to TP out. That's a free kill gone. Bottom lane, fight breaking out. It's only 2 versus 3. Bots a life draining Illidan away. Lightning Storm will go and bring him down. Great ice path potential. Bone 7. Illidan in trouble. Liquid fire. Stampede goes. He might die to the dot, and he will. Will get the kill on the Bone 7, and somehow 3 heroes die as she is rotated in. Now cleaning up the tombstone. Look at it again. There you go. Now get the Nether Ward. So many destructible objects in this map, and they finally will bring them all down, but it's a 1-for-3 trade. I didn't even notice she rotated in, and also Will still life drain. That's pretty funny as well.
Dire's top tower is
and
under
they're just
attack.
getting way
Radiant's
more out
middle
of these
tower
trades.
has
DK Phobos
fallen.
almost has a friggin' blink as an offlaner Centaur against the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't even know who else to
Radiant's
call it because they
middle
kind of
tower
switched
is
lanes so
under
many
attack.
times. FNG gets the
Dire's
tower last
top
hit, so he's
tower
going to be
has
on his way
fallen.
towards Arcanes plus Blink or Ags, whatever he wants. I personally love rushing Ags on Shadow Shaman. Obviously, Blink is fine, but Ags is one of the upgrades. The upgrade for Shadow Shaman is so damn good. Phobos, they can do something, but bottom lane is where C and I want to fight.
God, this lightning storm is so difficult. I mean, obviously, if the Nether Ward up, and that's going to annoy Illidan, but they're going to try to deny this tower. It will get
Radiant's bottom
destroyed by the
tower
liquid
has
fire
fallen.
proc. They mistimed it there a bit.
Shadow
And they-
Blade from G.
Oh, really? I thought he was going to go for the mech. I swear, I thought that was going to be the item he was going to purchase, just so they had this way to early fight the mechanism. But that's not going to be the case. He goes for the Shadow Blade, the extra chunk damage, and he's also able to some solo potential with pickoffs and things of that nature. So maybe combined with find a couple of kills. Bottom lane, we are going to find Lil dead as NBA has finally rotated and gotten involved. That was the first kill he was involved in. He's died once top lane, obviously. He is going for Aghanim Scepter, so it leads me to believe how useful are these treads pickups exactly when you have an Aghanim's at like what, 16, 17 minutes into the game?
Yeah, it's, I mean, TP top. Gonna be No Tail, who's very, very
great
poor.
Jackal from Envy. He's gonna focus fire DK Phobos. He does have Stampede. I bet he was alone. That was pretty great. Oh, she gets the kill onto No Tail top lane. Shadowblade's up. I was too busy enthralled by that beautiful Jackal shot.
Dire's structures
He
are
just
fortified.
TP top too. Like, oh, this
Dire's
Naga is
middle
so
tower
poor.
is under attack.
So any idea of transitioning into some kind of core Naga is just out
Radiant's
the window. I
bottom
think this game.
tower
He's
is
just got
under
nothing.
attack.
Wards come down from
Dire's top
FNG.
tower is under
They
attack.
have no glyph. They already used it. This is gonna be an easy tier 2 tower down.
Envy's dead. It looks like they have the moon run. He already used it. Jackal shot's gonna go. DK Phobos is gonna get caught. Misery throws out the tombstone. They could go for him if they wanted to. Blinks up in 2. But they still have the zombies chasing after him. Bottom lane, Telekinesis, they're going to find Bone 7. Will taking a lot of damage from that Netherward. Great back from Fatsa, but they will get the kill with G using his Raise Up. Fatsa out of mana. Going to try to TP away. Can they get this kill? Raise 1. They won't be able to get there for Telekinesis, and it was on cooldown. Still, they grab the kill on Envy mid. They grab the kill on Bone 7 bottom. They defend their
Dire's top
tier 2
tower
tower
is
barely.
under attack.
They put pressure on the tier 1. VirtusPro have a pretty nice lead here. If you look at the graph, it's 5,000, almost 7,500 net worth. It is 7,500 net worth lead coming out from VirtusPro. That's fantastic. You're at 60 minutes into the game.
G just picked up his Shadowblade. Almost has his BKB too. I almost everyone likes the mech build more nowadays, and it seems to be more the go-to build. I do love Shadowblade though, a lot on Shadow Fiend, even if it is kind of greedy and kind of like it's like all about him. Like he can make a bunch of solo plays, but it just, I don't know, it gives him an extra element that I really, really like. I can't put my finger on it, but it just feels right on the hero for some reason for me. I don't know.
I'm glad that more people are picking up Shadowblade. That patch that was a while ago that changed Shadowblade to have like a longer cooldown. They made, of course, the duration
Dire's
longer. I'm
middle
glad they
tower
made the
is
duration
under
longer.
attack.
It makes the item actually balanced instead of what it was before. So like
Yeah.
there were points in time where Bobo was picking it up on.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That's it. Hold that thought. Ice Path mid, Illidan in trouble. Macro Fire gonna go through. Stampeded out though, so he should be okay for now. No Tail still smoked up. He could have gone for the song, decided
Dire's
not to.
bottom tower is under
And
attack.
instead they're gonna trade nothing for a tier 1 tower. I mean, VirtusPro are clearly dictating the pace of play. That's a full BKB dot after just picking the Shadowblade. Here comes the Song from No Tail. They'll try to fight this. Did they catch G? G got away. They're only going to get FNG on the Shadow Shaman. G will walk out with his Shadowblade. FNG is dead. That's a Song for Arasta. They'll take that trade any day of the week. It is a level 1 Song. And guess what? Illidan runs down Misery mid lane as well, getting his Bloodstone charge up to 9. VirtusPro getting great trades all across the map, Trout.
Yeah, and even though the Leshrac didn't get too much, like, he got okay CS bottom, but he wasn't free farming. But with these with all this extra tower gold that he has, it's, I didn't even realize, but now he has a Bloodstone with an extra charge. BKB now purchased onto the Shadow Fiend, who's going for a solo pick off bottom. The Yules comes out actually from bottom 7, 1 auto attack, he couldn't get the second raise in time. Doesn't want to expend the BKB just for kill for a Jakiro, and I don't blame him. See if he can get lucky with a raise. No, he doesn't. So darn, he's so close.
He needed to walk up just a bit for that kill, and he misses it. There's, damn. But like you mentioned, didn't want to use that
Dire's
BKB
top
charge, and that's
tower
fine.
is under
Illidan is
attack.
already edicting up into tier 3
Dire's
tower. They actually have to
structures are
glyph this.
fortified.
Cloud9 seem a bit spread thin. Maybe unproposed here. They're having trouble fighting pickoffs. They're having trouble defending their towers. And Illidan and Co are looking to punish this. VirtusPro have a fantastic lead right now, and this game 1 is looking great for them.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
Much better showing this series so far than we saw when they played EG in the best of 5 in the upper bracket, which was just a trounce by EG. So whether it was VP off that day or something, up the top lane, I see lots of pings. The Yules comes out on the Leshrac. He has no BKB. Maybe needs a Stampede from, yep, the Shackle Shot is not going to latch. I think he maybe needs to deny something. Yeah, he does.
Good deny coming out, but they finally pick up at least something out of that. They make sure they use his Bloodstone, and he loses some charges there. That's fine. That's down for a while as well. Like you mentioned, VP looking so much better. Of course, both teams are on Lux. There is a boot camp for Cloud9 in Romania currently. In fact, where we were at just a month ago for the TI5 qualifiers. Same exact studio, which is pretty nice. DGL guys, super awesome there, so shout outs to them. For VirtusPro, they're all in the same vicinity. I'm not sure if they're boot camping. I would have to imagine so. But both teams playing from the Lux server. Obviously, this is going to benefit Cloud9 a bit more. Bot's in trouble. Next up, stays alive. DK Bubble is going to work. Good decrep. Life Drain comes out as well. Bots are back up to full health. Nether Blast gets used by Lil. They're in trouble. Misery is going to work with this Tombstone and his Flesh Golem. Lil will use his Fade Bolt. He does have Blink, and they will both get out. Bottom lane now. FNG shackled up. Envy does grab the kill, and they'll pick up the Serpent Wards as well. Oh, man. That's crazy. G's going to go in for a potential Requiem, perhaps, looking for Misery or Fatsa.
Dire's middle tower is under
They
attack.
have a Sentry Ward there. Yours will come out. That'll be from, I believe, Bone 7 comes up from the backside. They get the Ice Path, jump in from Lil Telekinesis. They're going to bring him back. G and VirtusPro want to fight this. Blink Stomp comes in from Phobos. They get the Fade Bolt, the race to clean it up for G. And that is a nice kill as well. Lil will TP away the zombies between up by G. They won't give him any gold, unfortunately. Mid lane, action all over the goddamn map, and Illidan will go down. He literally just spawned, walked mid, and lost Bloodstone charges again. Now down to 4. Envy is saying, I will take that trade every day of the week. He's gonna have 1,600 gold in the bank as well. All right, Trout, we've got a break in the action now, finally. Jesus.
Well, we'll see. There's actually FNG spotted out by a ward. Oh, nope, he's smoked.
Smoked up.
Okay, maybe gonna go for a solo kill.
Jeez.
Oh, it broke actually. Now they see him. If they catch him with the Yules, now they have vision of him. The ward just fades, so they don't see him anymore. Kind of unfortunate timing right there. But he does get away.
All right, well, VirtusPro have made some okay plays, and then they made the plays with Illidan dying twice in a row when it really shouldn't have happened. The good thing is G is still in prime position. They will find Misery. Raises Nether Blast hold again. Mech is not nearly enough. They'll even steal the Nether Ward for Lil. That's fantastic. And they'll take down Siege Creep. Maybe put some pressure onto the tier 3 tower. Fox will try to defend. All right, 18 to 10. It's been a barn burner, man. That's a lot of action.
And G is so big right now. He can get so many different things. I think Butterfly would be good this game too. He'll have the magic immunity with a BKB, and then he'll have physical damage mitigation with the evasion, which is really, really good against, obviously, Wind Ranger. I don't see her getting an MKB anytime soon, so...
FNG, I know what you were going for there, man, but it just didn't work out. He misses the War Trap, and an Invis no-tail comes around. He probably would have gotten that kill on Bone 7 had no-tail not used the Ensnare to catch off the Shackle, so... Rough stuff for FNG. They'll take down the tier 2 tower mid, though, and... It feels like VirtusPro have lost sight of their target, which is taking down towers, maybe taking fights head-on, and trying to get objectives done. And that just hasn't been the case. The Shrek, he had that 9 Bloodstone charge up, and then he died twice, and that's really been the biggest issue. Are they still in a good position? Absolutely. You already mentioned G is in a fantastic spot. He's got 2.8k gold. I would not be surprised to see a Butterfly next, maybe a Helm of the Dominator casually if he wants to. He could certainly buy it right here from the side shop. And it looks like he might do that. No, he just might.
Mott was wrong.
Yeah. All right, you know what? Give me your Trouthless right spams. All right, let's go.
It would certainly. You know, one of the reasons why I like the Helm of the Dominator Shadowblade is because you can solo Roche very, very early on. Your damage output is so high with the Necromastery and the presence of Dark Lord.
Out of balance.
It makes it so easy to Roche, even from Radiant.
So what you're saying right now is that Shadow Fiend is feeling himself.
Yes, I would say that.
Shadow They're heading into Roche. Cloud9 are trying to take this with Focus Fire. They do not have armor reduction. Will walk in into the Nether Ward. He's like, I have walked into a world of hurt. Somebody, dear God, help me. He'll help himself with the Ice Path. Coming out, G's gonna walk in. They'll use him on Bone 7. BKB, right, and will go. Envy gets blown up by this split earth. They have to leave. Tombstone is doing some work. There's the Lightning Storm, no tail. He's gonna song. He's got it. FNG jumps in, gets the shackle off. There's the Light Drain. FNG will get the kill, but Fox gets the return. Envy buys back. G on the other side. They'll find the Ice Path. They won't be able to get the kill on Misery. Not just yet. He's so tanky. They're not going for Roche. Cloud9 are coming from the backside. Illidan cannot afford to die. Shackle shot will not last, but he's slowed up from the death blast of the zombies. Good ice path onto Fatsa. They can't bring Yeldon down. They don't have the damage. Misery is still tanking this up. He finally goes down. Now it's 2 Cloud9 members caught in a pincer movement here. Fatsa comes in. Nether Blast will miss. Death Ward is up. Nether Ward, rather. They're going to grab it on the kill with G with the right click. Envy, Shack Shot, latches beautifully. Below comes in Ice Pass. It's going to zone them out, but it won't catch them. There's the Shadow Blade. Pulsar was going to go. The Edict as well. The damage is going to be real. Envy dive back coming out for the Wind Ranger. That might have been a game-losing fight drop if I've ever seen one. Bone 7 is going to get clipped. He'll try to make his way out. He does avoid the splitter. Cross-section Ice Path. What's happening?
Bloodbath, man. Another buyback, this time from Pugna. They do have a song available if they need to stop them from taking Roche, but I think that they can actually just go heal, come back and fight it before Envy's up in fighting shape.
What the hell?
This was a crazy fight. VP just gets absolutely everything. C9 gets nothing.
All right, so the good thing the fight recap was still up. It was a 3.5k gold gain for VirtusPro and a 3k gold loss for Cloud9. That's 2 buybacks gone, one of which was a dieback, and 5 or 6 deaths in total, I believe, across the entirety of the fight. Maybe 7 with Bone 7 dying twice. I'm not sure. It is a 15, almost 20k net worth lead. And like you mentioned, they're going to heal up and they're going to head to Roche. And Envy, even though he has an Aghanim Scepter, he just doesn't do any damage with his Focus Fire at all. So they've got to find some way to dish out the damage here. Now there's a BKB on Lush and G, so how are you going to deal with that? You're going to obviously miss out on a lot of damage from Pugna and Bone 7. They will smoke up. If this smoke fails, I would almost think that Cloud9 would call GG. They're so far behind. They will jump in. They'll miss the Ice Path. G BKBs as soon as the Shatter Shot comes out. Great Ice Path. Stop on the 2, and they're going to work. They will ensnare up G, but Misery, last right click, he's done. And that is it. G is godlike. GG is called by Cloud9. This first game was a disaster. And VirtusPro come out on top heavily in game number 1.
I gotta hand it to Lil for 2 reasons. One, he always seems to be very adamant and on top of his game in terms of selling all his items or putting them on the ground the second the GG is called.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that, but the second the GG was called, he's putting his items on the ground as fast as he can.
Yeah.
So that he has no items. So that's 1 point. 2 is that he just played fantastically this game. This game was totally won by supports, in my opinion, from VirtusPro. The transition of FNG to mid, then going top, then staying top for like 2 minutes, waiting for the perfect time to kill Envy again. So I'd say it comes down to FNG's movement and just being able to pressure all lanes, and then Lil's his actual play in the team fights and being able to steal the right spells. The Ice Path just did wonders for him. When he was scouting out the Roche, he scouted out all by himself, ran into 4 heroes, used the lift to stun them on the lift down, stole Ice Path, hit 3 people with it, ran away, and bought his team time to get back in there. So I would say this game was definitely won by the supports of VirtusPro.
Yeah, we often talk about FNG and what plays he makes, and especially his drafts as well. But I think when it comes down to it, and especially on his Rubik, which is one of the most underrated Rubiks in the game, Lil has been a fantastic support player coming out from VirtusPro. So they'll take a 1-0 advantage here in this best of 5 series. The Wind Ranger experiment is over. Whether or not they pick it next game remains to be seen. It didn't work out particularly well in this game. I don't think that's indicative of how it's going to go in the future for Cloud9, but we will have to wait and see. Remember, this is a best of 5 series. Game number 2 is coming up. You guys can check us out. Make sure you check out High Ground TV at High Ground TV on Twitter. Of course, we're bringing you the production. My name is Mott. You can follow me at MottDota. Alongside me is Pimp Muckle. You can check him out at Pimp Muckle. Of course, our observer as well as producer. MottPack's doing the stats at MottPacks. And of course, Tralf. You can follow him at TralfDota as well. With that being said, game number 2 right around the corner, guys. Stick around.
Introducing the Dota Pitch Twitch